So we got to see some Mac Jones, not in Alabama, in the NFL. This was a lot of fun. I mean, we're all waiting to see how these rookie quarterbacks are going to play. We got to see Mac Jones, and the numbers are atrocious, but I actually thought he played pretty well. So the numbers are 13 for 19, solid completion percentage, but just 87 yards. That looks awful. It wasn't. It was actually pretty good. And I especially thought that once the first team got off the field and he was playing with mostly second-team guys, or even worse, it didn't look as good, quite frankly. And I think that Mac Jones is the kind of guy who plays better when he's with a first team versus the first team, whereas some guys might play better when they're with a second team playing against a second team. It depends on the player. To me, Jones is the kind of guy where he's, more of a point guard than he is a guy who's going to drive down the lane and, slam dunk. So that's the intrigue with him, but I thought he played pretty well. So let's get into the film study and talk about what I think he did well. So first, let's start off with the first play. So this was pretty interesting, I thought. So it's going to be man coverage. Washington ran a surprising amount of man coverage, given that typically they play a lot of zone in regular football. I'm imagining this is just a preseason. They want to see who can play man, even though they're primarily a zone team. And they actually got very creative, more creative than you typically expect in the preseason. But nevertheless, this video is not about that. It's about Mac Jones. And the way this play works is it's a cover one man play. Jacoby Myers running over the middle, and watch what happens. So Jones takes the snap, does a good job of, I think, being patient, making this throw at the right time. Although I have to be honest, this is not a great throw. I mean, his first throw of wearing an NFL uniform in an actual game, it's a low throw. There's no getting around that, really. In fact, I think it's possible it might have even been tipped. It looks like it could have been tipped. So if it was tipped, that's the reason. If not, it's a missed throw. So either way, starting off not with the best situation. I mean, this throw was complete, but not ruled complete, so it made it that weird. But, since then, things would get a lot better on this next drive, starting off with the third down play. So right here, it's man coverage again, and basically Mac Jones is going to do what people have praised him for being able to do in college, which is picking the right matchups and figuring out where to get the ball to and which player to get the ball to. And on this situation, you have on the outside a one-on-one matchup with a route that can get open against this type of coverage. It's a curl route, on a third down and 6. This is where he's going to look to throw the ball to, which makes sense. And also, as you see, it's just a very well-timed route. He throws it at the perfect moment. The second he saw it was going to get open, he made the throw. He did not make it too early where it could have been picked. He did not make it too late where the defender had a chance to get back into the play. So again, small things, but I do think it's worth praising him for. You then have something like this, which is very fascinating to me. So a big thing that New England is going to want to do is play action. I mean, that's kind of what they build their offense around a little bit. And especially with how Damian Harris has at times played, not just last season, but also in this game itself. I thought he played very well at certain times. So I do think that having a quarterback who can do well with play action could be a big benefit to the New England Patriots, and Jones can do that, as you will see on this play. So it is a play action, and you have a receiver running over the middle, and watch what's going to happen. So first things first, yes, absolutely, this is looking wide open. I mean, the linebackers bit on the play action hard, which makes sense. They just ran the ball effectively a couple times. So, yeah, it makes sense that linebackers bite on this play action hard. You can now have a moment to throw the ball. But what I like about what Mac Jones is going to do here is it's the timing. Football is all about timing, and Mac Jones times these things very well. Ideally, when you want to throw the ball would be in between those two linebackers. You want to get it as close to in between as possible just to make sure it gets through, because while yes, they've moved in, making the throw a little bit easier, all they have to do is leap up and they can knock the ball away, especially if you miss the throw a little bit. So timing is very important here. But watch this little hesitation before making the throw, which allows it to really be an easy throw to make, whereas if he threw it immediately, it might not have been complete. So it's a small thing, and it looks wide open, and it kind of was, but again, part of that is because of Mac Jones and his good footwork to get into throwing motion quickly and then being able to throw the ball at the perfect time. Similar to at Alabama, people always said, how much of it was just his teammates? Well, Some of it, but part of that was because he did good work to get his teammates open as well. It goes both ways. This one, I think we can all agree, would have just been awesome had it been complete. So it's a cover 2 zone blitz is what it appears to be. It's a creative play call. Like I said, Ron Rivera not just saying, oh, it's the preseason, let's play cover 3 all day, even though he would do that to some degree. On this play, it's going to be a deep route that Jones is going to look towards, and it makes sense. Now, typically, this might not make sense. For example, if it was maybe a cover 2 man play, you would not want to make this throw because there is safety help over the top. But because it's a deep route, it's basically a one-on-one matchup. And the player who's covering the receiver Jones wants to throw to is further in because of the disguise, so it's not a horrible route to throw to here whatsoever. And watch, right when this play starts, it is going to get a little bit open. There's a window where Jones can make this throw. It's not wide open. This is not an easy throw to make for Mac Jones whatsoever, which is what, this is the reason why it's one of his more impressive throws we've seen from him. I mean, look, just a perfect throw. You got to make that catch. Come on. It's a guy, a hyped up rookie quarterback making his first NFL game. Got to bring that one down. But incredible throw. And if we're just evaluating Jones, it shouldn't matter whether the receiver catches it or not. All that should matter is the quarterback. And it was just a beautiful throw right there. This play wasn't the best. If you want to find something to criticize, this is certainly something you can criticize, where what's going to happen is it's a zone coverage play, and the route Jones wants to throw to is going to be to the fullback's route right here, and just watch what happens. So right when this play starts, Jones drops back. This is open. This is not a difficult throw to make, really. One thing I've noticed about Jones, though, and this is uncharacteristic of him, it's not necessarily something you would see too often in college. Look at his footwork. I mean, look at how far back his feet are right here. This is a good angle to kind of show it's not exactly where you want. His feet aren't exactly planted where you would like them to be. Maybe this is just, a different scheme. You're sort of getting used to exactly how many steps you have to take back, stuff like that. But I don't know. Not the best, and you're going to see him sort of lack getting the correct amount of power on this throw. As you see, he does miss this throw, and I've often said there will be times when you see a bit of lazy fundamentals with Jones. That's kind of my one critique of him. As a whole, he has pretty great fundamentals when he's sort of locked in, but there will be moments like this. This was one. It was still a completion, but just, clearly didn't get a lot on that throw. And when arm strength is a criticism he gets, while it's not as big a deal as maybe, say, Tua, it still is a criticism, and, that doesn't help things. Let's just say that. So, yeah, that's my thought on Mac Jones as a whole. Very fun. Preseason is back. Time to overreact to basically a glorified practice, which, hey, I mean, it's fun, right? I enjoy it. You guys enjoy it if you're watching this video and made it to the end. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And, of course, as always, have a good one.